We recently made a 600-mile round trip from Tampa to Key Largo trailering our boat with a Tesla Model 3 Standard Plus rear-wheel drive. In this video, we want to tell you about our trip, show some stats to help you plan, and provide some useful tips. We started at the charger in Riverview. We made 4 stops to charge along the 300-mile route. First at the Supercharger in Sarasota, second in Fort Myers, third in Naples, and the last stop at the Supercharger in Homestead, before ending at the condo in Key Largo. We left at 6:45 a.m. and arrived in Key Largo at 4 p.m. for a total trip time of 9 hours. Model 3s in the US aren't rated for towing and don't come with hitches. However, we purchased and installed the Eco Stealth hitch from TorqueLift as an aftermarket add-on. Jerry Rigs Everything has an excellent installation video. I'll put a link in the description. The video was spot on, except for the hitch plate. Instead of cutting a hole, we found that newer models already have a removable one. After the initial installation, you can actually remove the visible part and replace the plate when you aren't trailing for a more streamlined look and protection. To run the brake lights and turn signals on the trailer, we used an isolated wire harness with an induction sensor. Normally you would run a wire to the Tesla's 12-volt battery in the front of the car, but we put a separate 12-volt battery in the trunk. The trailer and boat together weighed 600 pounds, plus 2 people and some heavy tools for around 1,000 pounds. Normally with just me in the trailer going 50 miles per hour, the car uses around 190 watt-hours of energy per mile. With the trailer attached, it uses around 355 watt-hours per mile for a 60% efficiency. The first leg from Riverview to Sarasota was 37 miles. We took 50 minutes at an average moving speed of 50 miles per hour. We got to the Sarasota Supercharger with 73% left, which is equivalent to 169 miles or 111 with the trailer. It was very nice to look at the map in the car and know how busy the station was before we arrived. In order to reach the charger, we had to swing in and take up multiple spots. At busier chargers, we ended up unhooking the trailer and parking it nearby. The second leg from Sarasota to Fort Myers was 89 miles. It took 2 hours at an average moving speed of 51 miles per hour. We got to the Fort Myers Supercharger starting at 85% down to 22% left, which is equivalent to 35 miles with the trailer. We actually could have skipped this station and ended up in Naples if we had charged up more in Sarasota or gone a little bit slower. There are 2 supercharging stations around Fort Myers. We ended up stopping at the more southern station because we were doing so well with the battery. The station had a Target, a mall, and plenty of options for food. The third leg from Fort Myers to Naples was 30 miles. It took 45 minutes at an average moving speed of 55 miles per hour on the highway and 30 miles per hour through Naples. Starting with 50%, we got to Naples Supercharger with 28% left, which is equivalent to 43 miles with the trailer. The charging station in Naples wasn't very big and in a parking garage, so we definitely had to detach the trailer. We needed 100% battery for the next leg, so this was a great place to stop and eat. There was a nice sit-down breakfast place by the water within walking distance. Now it was time to start the longest leg of the trip, from Naples to Homestead, through Alligator Alley on I-75 or Tamiami Trail on 41. We thought 41 would be better because it was a slower road, but we wish we had taken I-75. We used 81% of the battery over 112 miles, and it took 2 hours and 49 minutes at an average speed of 40 miles per hour and a max of 55. The Model 3 predicted we would get there with 25%, but we got to the Supercharger with about 18% left because we increased speed as we got closer. 18% is equivalent to 30 miles with the trailer, so still a lot left in the tank. The last leg of the trip, from Homestead to our condo, was 30 miles, which was similar to the first leg. There was an outlet directly in front of the condo, so we used the mobile charger to keep the Tesla as charged as possible without having to go to a station. Charging in front of our rental was slow, but it certainly helped. We didn't drive very far from the condo since we had a boat launch on site, and sailing our boat was the main purpose of our trip.
Hey Brian, are you having fun?
The hitch is easy to see on the backup camera, which makes lining up a trailer fast and very accurate from any angle. Both launching and retrieving the boat on the ramp was a breeze. In general, pulling the trailer itself was kind of crazy. There's so much torque, and it feels like you aren't really pulling anything. On the ramp, the parking brake was confusing, and I'm still not sure I'm doing it correctly. I ended up always holding the park button in for 1 second until the P symbol appeared. This held the trailer on the boat ramp just fine. The bottom line is, the Model 3 had no trouble towing our small sailboat of 600 miles with 2 adults and a bunch of stuff in the back. The biggest issue currently when towing long distances is the Supercharger network. When we aren't towing, we can easily skip over Superchargers. The 40% range reduction while towing made every Supercharger important for the trip to be drama-free. What worked well was charging even as little as 10 minutes at every Supercharger we came across, and piggybacking longer charge stops with meals, when we'd stop anyway. But if there were as many Supercharger stations as there were gas stations, this would be a non-issue and no need for planning. The Model 3 is not rated for towing in the US. If you install a Hitch, you're taking a risk. However, as early as 2019, the Model 3 is rated for towing in the UK and Australia. The Model X is rated for 5,000 pounds, even in the US. So if you have qualms about living on the edge or breaking rules, you may want to invest in a Model X. However, since we were towing such a small load and usually not very far, we thought we'd risk it, and it worked amazingly. When the Model X is in trailer mode, the autopilot gets disabled. There isn't a trailer mode with the Model 3, so technically you can still use the autopilot with the trailer. However, there were 2 major issues that make using autopilot a liability: acceleration and deceleration. It tended to accelerate as if there wasn't a trailer. The braking distance was underpredicted, so if you do use the autopilot while trailering, you have to brake sooner, or you risk rear-ending somebody and having it be your fault. As far as trailering on back roads versus interstate, the interstate is much better. I really like entering a destination address and taking off. After about 4 miles, the trip planner recalculates your estimated battery level at the destination, even with the trailer. We found that recalculation to be very accurate. Towing with the Model 3 was easier than I expected and super fun. Thanks for watching. I hope this was informative or helped somebody else. Please remember to subscribe before you go.